Today, we're going to talk all things sports as we always do and mix it in with a little bit of humor like we like to do, Coach. But let's get into the World Cup. And let's call this the Who's Your Daddy episode, the post-Father's Day episode. And when we're talking about Who's Your Daddy, it could get messy as we get into the Lionel Messi topic. Let's celebrate the College World Series champs. All right. And let's get into the Brendan Sorsby supplemental saga as we wrap that up. And we probably will kick that can down the road after this today. Let's actually get into the 5x5 ruling from the NCAA Eligibility Committee, if you don't mind. And then let's jump into some NBA talk real quick. We'll give some shout outs, and then we'll talk about, obviously, what chaps our ass in sports this week. And then we'll wrap it up, and we'll get started on the next episode. What do you think, Coach?
Absolutely. Let's rock and roll, brother.
Yeah! Let's go! Yeah, we fired up. Got something to say. No filters here. We don't play it safe. Hot takes fly. Better brace for the blast. Welcome to that chapter. Let's go!
Welcome to the Chapped Ass Podcast, a face for radio, coming at you from 5 foot 10 inches above sea level from the stock in beautiful Woodstock, Georgia, baby. How we doing today, Coach?
Man, it's been a great week. I mean, beautiful weather. And I know we're about to hit a heat wave, but man, awesome. Love it. How about you, my man?
I've been doing great. It's been softball, and more softball in the heat, as you stated. But let's rock and roll, baby. Well, let's get into the World Cup. Let's get into all things that are messy there, Coach. And let's talk about this guy. This guy just broke the record for all-time goals scored in the World Cup, I believe, is it 18 goals now?
I don't know. I don't know the number. All I know is he's the record holder. And Ronaldo has been one that they kind of were thinking, hey, we don't need to be playing because he's so old. But right. He got a goal as well, and he's now the second oldest ever to score a World Cup goal. But Messi is the main story, I would think. I mean, his team has been dominating, and when he wants to play, his team is definitely the best in the world, without a doubt.
There's no doubt about it. So I think he scored 5 goals this FIFA 2026 FIFA World Cup, and he's at 18 goals as the record holder now. I think the previous record obviously was 17 that he just broke, and there's no way either you or I could pronounce that person's name. So, but real quick, before we get into some of these crazy traditions too, I know we celebrate Messi, we celebrate Ronaldo, but before we get into those some of those crazy traditions we want to talk about, which will have some sponsorships on there, let's give a shout out to people for our sponsorship, calling for sponsors as we always do, Coach. And let's ask for people to follow our socials at Chapped Podcast, CHAPPEDA Podcast, or follow us on YouTube and ring that bell. Smash that subscribe button. Please leave us a 5-star review, and we love the comments. Keep them coming. All the suggestions, all those things. I talked to you today about some of the followers and some of the views that we're still getting, and man, we're at almost 200,000 views between the 3 social media platforms today. So that's really, really cool. That's crazy. A cool tradition too, right? Like no other.
And we went over 200 on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. We busted the Mendoza line. We're sitting, I think, at like 211 today. So hopefully we can bump that number up. Yeah, let's keep going. Now it's destination 300, Coach. Let's get into the Hall of Fame and get us to 300. Yeah. What do you think?
I love it.
Well, let's talk about some quirky traditions for the World Cup. What do you think?
I think the traditional stuff and stuff that we've been seeing been awesome. Let's really kind of talk about our biggest trend, though, first. All right, let's talk about the biggest trend that we have going on in the World Cup, and that is the old American favorite, ranch dressing.
Ranch
dressing, by the way. It's like my least favorite. But
I know so many people that can't stand ranch dressing, Coach. I think it's just a funny phenomenon that that everybody from around the world is just finding out about ranch dressing. You would think at some point the marketing and the dressing would have gotten overseas, but I guess it hasn't. But I know so many people that don't like ranch dressing, which is crazy to me. But I think somebody else that may not be in love with the ranch dressing might be the TSA.
Yeah, man. The TSA had to go on Instagram, and they had to set out a warning. I mean, come on, man. Oh, we're on Messi. There we go. TSA had to send out a warning about, hey, you can't bring bottles on here. It's just like any kind of fluid, you know?
That's right.
You know, these are things that, you know, as you start looking at the ranch dressing and you're going through, just buy the dry packages, man. Those things you could bring over and then you can make your own, but don't bring the whole bottle. Come on, brothers.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Look at that, Coach. And that's
look at that picture. It looks like they're having contraband of like marijuana.
No doubt about it. Right now, they're not smuggling drugs; they're smuggling dipping sauce for ranch dressing. That is just insane to me. I just think that's a crazy phenomenon. But we've seen a bunch of different things, Coach. We've seen the Brit, the guy that's the Brit that is the fella that had tried
There you are.
biscuits and gravy for the first time, and it's just the reaction that he had. Of course, that mustache is a attention grabber in itself, right there. But biscuits and
absolutely.
gravy, the expression when he tore up those biscuits and gravy was amazing. And if you
I
look,
think
he's wearing
the flavors that Americans give is something that I think is really kind of taken over the world, because we all have so many different flavors. I mean, like, you go to a grocery store, Brits and everybody and Germans and Scots, they go to the grocery store and they're like, holy cow, look at all the stuff here. I find that more entertaining than actually the soccer games themselves or football games themselves. I love watching those reels. I love watching the expressions of the fans. And, I think having the personalities come out of the different countries has been heartwarming. And them finding out that we're not all political. We're
sure.
very friendly nation. And that's why we've always been called the melting pot, really. I mean, that's why we are based the way we are. Everybody was welcomed to our country and live. And you got to do it properly. But, if we're going to get there, this is why we do consider ourselves one of the better nations in the world, because we do allow ourselves to have that freedom to have different things and things that aren't illegalized. Like, you can't find Skittles or Fruit Loops out there, right? You can't do it because of the red dye. So they're just like, this is illegal in our country. We're breaking the law. We're eating Skittles,
Yeah, that guy's reaction was just amazing. But also, remember the Buc-ee's phenomenon? That was crazy. But a few other things that we've talked about too is that I thought it was amazing. It was really, really cool. The Norway row that they did. The fans got in and they're row, and they're sitting in a little triangle, and the fans are all rowing with them. To me, that's what like celebrating your country and celebrating your team and celebrating your victory is all about. And you talk about the USA, but freedom of expression obviously is welcome in the United States. But, thinking that dip is a big deal and ranch dressing is a big deal is crazy to me. Another trend I saw was some Japanese fans eating barbecue for the first time, Texas barbecue.
Yeah.
The bigger, the better, in Big D or whatever out there. But the guy takes a big bite of that rib, man, takes that big old smile, and it just looks like it's cooked perfectly.
What I love is that they're willing to try everything. Right. And want to. Like, I've heard mixed reactions about Dunkin' Donuts. They're like, Dunkin' Donuts isn't that great. I could concur. I'm not a big Dunkin' Donuts. You got to go the other route. That's the Atlanta-based one.
Krispy Kreme, baby, for life. We're lifers, aren't we?
My father was dying for me to bring Krispy Kreme. I'm like, Dad, I can't bring them on the plane.
Yeah, right. But I can bring you some ranch dressing.
Yeah, I can't bring ranch dressing. Can't bring Krispy Kreme. What are we doing here, brother?
Oh man, that is too funny. That is too funny. Well, what else? What other things have you noticed in the World Cup as far as some of the phenomenon that's going on? We're not even talking about the games, which is even crazier to me.
Honestly, I think the games are just the big part of it, but the bigger part is the fan bases around. And I love how Scotland and the Tartan Army, I don't think they're going to advance into the knockout. They like to party,
Yes, they do.
As their song would say, But being married in Scotland and being around that kind of culture before, I knew they could party.
Absolutely. And they drink all the beer coming over on the plane. I mean, and then they drank all the bars out of brew. I just think it's amazing. And what a great opportunity to sell booze.
If we kind of go to our next little segment, Kraft from the Patriots, he wants to have the game be part of, the NFL be part of Scotland next. I mean, they just took over Boston, and they definitely have left a positive influence on the Boston market. And I would love to see that happen, just because I think that would bring the NFL and and Europe even closer. And I love that idea. So, I would actually say, forget about going to Wembley. Let's go to, Glasgow or Edinburgh and have a game there. So what do you think, brother?
I'm agreeing with you on that, Coach. I'm completely in agreement there. But I mean, the NFL has tried to go international anyway. Why not? Let's just add another country and another place to go play ball and have some fun and obviously drink some beers and celebrate with the Scots. I don't think there's any better place to party than Scotland. But did you really get married in Scotland?
I did. I did.
That's awesome.
I got married in Dumfries, Scotland. Beautiful church that was older than our country.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
I had a bagpipe. We got piped in, piped out of the church.
That's really cool. Did you wear a kilt to get married? No. Okay. Just a traditional.
I had we were married on the hottest day of the year. And it was, I think, 98 degrees. And in Scotland, they don't have AC. So I was in a full traditional wool suit. My best man, my father, my brother-in-laws, they were all in wool suits, and we were at the reception. And my wife is like, I am not taking this wedding dress off until it's time. And I'm like, I can't. I'm gonna pass out. So she was like, you guys go and put golf shirts on. We all had to get in golf shirts, and even then we soaked through them all. So,
right. Well, that's
pretty cool little story.
That is a cool story. And you talk about the AC, and that's just one other thing just to slide in real quick about the World Cup thing. I don't know if you read that part, but they were going into some Mexican restaurants, I believe in Texas, the fans that were visiting, and they couldn't believe that the restaurants had air conditioning in the restaurants, which is kind of crazy to think. And, as Americans, I guess we just sort of expect, and we're just used to certain kind of amenities, but to think that there's not air conditioning in restaurants, or like you're talking about how hot it is in Scotland without AC, those are things that we don't normally think about as Americans. So sometimes we probably do take some of those things for granted, but those are cool stories. And that just kind of ties in with what we're talking about some of those
During the heat wave right now over there. My wife is very worried about her father right now because and they go by Celsius and we go by Fahrenheit. But it's right now, they're going through a major heat wave. They have hotter weather than we do in Atlanta right now. And I think it's like 95, 96. And, she's had to call them and make sure, hey, are you okay? What are you doing to stay cool? And they have fans going. But it's stifling. So
does he have the cool Scottish accent? I mean, does he talk like that?
He has he has an accent. But he's more English. He was born in England and he was raised very proper English. But he lives in Lockerbie, where the Pan Am flight came down.
Yep.
Isn't
that where the Loch Ness Monster is too? Well, let's flip over. Let's flip over to baseball and let's get into let's celebrate the Oklahoma Sooners and the and Coach Skip Johnson as the national champions as they beat North Carolina, which I know we were kind of pulling for North Carolina, but OU won the national championship in baseball this past week. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to Coach Skip Johnson. And I believe that's 7 in a row, Coach, for the SEC, just as a FYI for winning those things. And I think that's a pretty cool story there as well. The SEC continues to dominate in all sports, as you know, and this is just another one, Coach, to chalk up. Any thoughts on the baseball national championship? I mean, other than congratulations to the Sooners.
And we talked about this last time we talked was Oklahoma being the hottest team, and they rode it. And, they beat – There was a stat that I saw that they beat the champion of each of the big three.
Right.
The regular season champion in each of the big three. And they did it in pretty easily fast. Like Georgia Tech probably gave them the hardest one, but they beat Georgia Tech. They beat Georgia. And who else did they beat? West Virginia maybe? So
I don't remember. Yeah,
there was a stat out there. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. This tells you how hot they can go, and and how things can be placed out there in a tournament style where anything can happen.
That's right.
That's the great thing about like the Knicks. The Knicks, they were probably the hottest team at the moment, and they proved that. So
right. Well, I have an interesting stat for you about Oklahoma that I read. They are the first team to ever start a true – I don't know if they're true freshmen. I'm going to say true freshmen. But the first team to every starting pitcher in every College World Series game that Oklahoma threw was a freshman pitcher. That's pretty
That's all
impressive.
that.
Yeah, that's
Very
pretty impressive. Yeah, congratulations to
impressive.
Coach Johnson again and the Sooners and the SEC for their continuing their dominance. But as we celebrate Oklahoma and we celebrate that, I'd also like to celebrate Coach the Branch brothers, Colby and Kyle Branch. This is a really cool story to me. The first set of brothers to ever play each other in the College World Series, which I think is really amazing. And then besides the fact that they played each other in the College World Series, Coach, they both hit their last at bats in the College World Series this year. Both of them hit home runs. I forget which is which, but I believe Kyle is Georgia and Colby's Oklahoma, but I could have that backwards. But both of those guys hit home runs in their last at bats. And I think that's just a really, really, really cool story for sports, and where sports and life kind of come together like we talk about. That's kind of a cool thing. Imagine being those parents and the pride that you have, not to mention they're both in the World Series. You're getting to watch every World Series game and your boys are playing in them. And I just think that's amazing.
Oh, I think that's awesome. And, I'm proud parents. I mean, I think more for the parents and the family for all the things that they had to go through to get to this point, and to have their kids excel at that level. I mean,
Right.
How cool is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
As a heartwarming thing for a parent, and you're a
No
parent,
doubt.
that's
There's no
like,
doubt.
other than getting to the professional level and making their major league debut, that might be the best memory that they could ever take from that. So congratulations to that family and the brothers. It was exciting to watch that. And really happy to see all that happen for them and their programs.
Me too. It was a cool story. It carried the College World Series, and to see the Georgia kid, they got in that elimination game when OU beat them to advance. The Georgia boy that hit the home run, the brother is playing short, I believe, and he just his mouth, he's wide open, like, oh my God, my brother just hit a home run. And then he comes around second, and they can kind of high five. Right, I guess he chills, man, thinking about it. They think two brothers, and they love each other. They're obviously got a really tight bond, and to see them celebrate each other like that, and knowing their parents are sitting in the stands, man, what could be better? I mean, but so kudos to the Branch brothers, as we call them around, right, Coach? The Branch brothers have done it. But now now we've celebrated Oklahoma in the College World Series. We're going to kick this can one more time, and let's get into the saga that is the quarterback Brendan Sorsby, the supplemental saga. We talked about this last week, and we mentioned that there's no guarantee that there's going to be a supplemental draft, as there hasn't been in a few years. And Goodell obviously came out and ruled against the supplemental draft, which kind of poo-poos Brendan Sorsby's chance.
I love that. And that's basically all the teams basically saying we wouldn't want to have him anyway. So
right.
It's in their own way of saying, Goodell has just kind of probably put a feeler out there and said, hey, would you guys want one to go after this guy? And no one wants that headache. So good riddance.
I would agree with that, Coach. I would agree with that. But I think that I found out who's actually drafted him. I don't know what league it is, but he's going to be drafted by the Karma Cowboys. So just know that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And I think he's finding out about that opposite reaction from his endeavors in gambling on his team and gambling on some of the stuff that he played with and those kind of things. So, this is what you get. These are the repercussions of gambling in college sports and on your college teams and in gambling in general, honestly. So, now he's going to have to learn the hard way or go play in another league somewhere for the next 12 months.
There's always something or someone that could watch and what you're doing. And when you're at that level, your advisors better be in your corner, especially when you're talking about millions and millions of dollars, not just NIL money, but also future NFL money. And so if you're at that point, your advisors aren't doing their job either. So,
So besides bad gambling picks, think of the money that he's peed away, so to speak. You know what I mean?
He gambled away on himself and didn't do well.
That's right. Yeah, he crapped out, so to speak, right, with the dice at the dice table. So sorry, Brendan Sorsby, but this is what comes with it.
Exactly. And the next part about this is that the NCAA is now kind of coming up with some new rules too about eligibility. And that eligibility is something that, it's that 5 for 5, right? Which means that you have a way of basically monitoring these athletes. You can't sit there in high school and reclassify down because there's an age thing now, right? So you got to be 19. your clock starts at the day after your 19th birthday, and you'll have to be done with college by the time you start, 25 years of age. In that 24-year age, you can still be playing, but you got to start that clock, right? And I think that's a big positive way of kind of avoiding these 27, 28-year-olds from playing, because,
Right.
There is an unfair advantage to being older. I mean, there's a thing called dad strength,
Right.
That's a true thing.
I don't have
right?
dad strength. Right. Right.
You do,
I don't
but
have the
you
dad
don't
strength. I
realize
do
it.
know what you mean.
But there's a thing called dad strength, and dad strength is as you become older, you become stronger just naturally, right? Well, this guy at 25 competing against a 18-year-old or a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old sometimes has a definite advantage.
Right.
And
No doubt about
we
it.
talked about this with Borshadin when he came in, and I've talked to Borshadin a lot about how his son in the draft, when he's eligible, he'll be at a perfect age for that. And people were looking at that, like, how
Right.
old are you? How old are you not at this point? Or how much older are you? And that's part of the reason why I'm not a big fan of our Falcons quarterback, Penix, because he's so much older and has all these injuries. He's only going to keep getting hurt. So
Right.
these are things that you kind of look at too, in the retrospect of the age too. But I love the 5-year thing. I love how the NCAA has put a boundary on it now. I love how NIL can kind of trigger that, and you can't just sit there and money grab the whole way through too.
But let's jump on that for a second, because in a way, though, I think that it is a little bit of a money grab. I think that now giving them 5 years, it incentivizes them to stay in college longer. And now that they're getting paid through college, I believe there's some NIL trickerations that sort of trickle into that as well.
I believe that, but there's no such thing as red shirt anymore.
Right.
You're never going to hear red shirt being called that anymore, not even medical.
Right.
You got that 5-year window. You got to get through it. So, I mean, the money's going to be there for NIL. That'll be the next part that they got to talk about. But,
Right.
I mean, honestly, this is a good step in the right direction. And I know that this was, pushed by other sources to kind of happen. But I think it's a good way to kind of start it all up.
Right.
So, as someone who's part of the high school athletics, or has been watching college athletics be ruined a little bit, I think
Agreed.
this kind of brings some of the integrity back to the NCAA. The next thing will be, how much money are we going to allow athletes to have?
Right. Right. And how many transfers will we give them? But they are giving, they're already having people sue the NCAA. They've already got athletes suing the NCAA because they want more than 5 years. It's like, wait a second. At some point, you're a 24-year-old grown-ass man. Go to the league, go to the show, go where you got to go, but you can't stay here no more, right? I mean, you got to go, coach. I mean, right? You've been here too long.
Stay here no more.
No more. You got to go. So it is a good ruling. Now, there is a little trickle down effect for, obviously I'm still coaching. So some of the stuff with the recruiting stuff and the signings and the 27s kind of having to adjust to that class, that rule is going to take into effect on some of that. And I'm seeing a bunch of stuff online about the recruiting things and maybe trying to start earlier and realizing now what you're sort of up against, knowing that class could stay there 5 years now. That it reminds me of when COVID hit. It's basically like a COVID year, honestly, is really what it amounts to. The 21s don't get to appreciate it, but the 22 class, they get to pick whether they want the 5 years. There's some JUCO transfer stuff. You can pick this or choose that.
We're still talking about athletes with COVID eligibility.
Right. The long COVID, coach, the long COVID, baby.
We're playing the long game on that one.
That's right. Definitely the long game. So, but I mean, it's literally, that's what it seems like to me is they just changed, instead of calling it the COVID rule, it's just the 5x5 now. So you get that extra year, but it is going to change the landscape of recruiting a little bit and the way they go about their business now.
I mean, the typical athlete, if they could graduate and they can still stay eligible, they can get their master's done at the same time in that 5-year window. There's nothing that says that you can't compete doing your master's still. And I think that's, the majority of college athletes should take advantage of that. I mean, a track runner, a swimmer, a volleyball player, there's stuff that the money isn't there professionally, but heck, they can make their money on the other side of that and better themselves. And I love how college athletics can better themselves, better a person if done right. If you do it like Sorsby, you're not doing it right.
Right, correct. Yeah. So my question, I got two questions for you then as we wrap this topic up. What do you think about, you got schools like BYU, they send those kids on a mission. Maybe they miss 1 year for a mission or maybe 2 years for a mission potentially. And then also the medical injuries, the torn ACL that maybe it takes you an extra, extra 6 months, a year and a half, so to speak, to recover. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's stipulations in that 5 year, but in that 5 year window, you should be able to still get your academics and athletics all done. I mean, you're still being paid for by the college. Think about it like that. You get hurt in a professional level, your contract doesn't get held up. Like Acuna, how many times has he been hurt for the Atlanta Braves? Well, his contract is still going. We're still paying him.
That's right.
So why is that any different? You should be able to concentrate on what you're there for to start off with, and that's your academics.
Right.
So I don't feel like there should be any. I feel like a 5 year window, you should be able to complete whatever you feel like you need to complete, and after that, you're done.
Right. Well, imagine if they tied the student athlete part of it and maybe added you have to graduate for that 5th year, maybe, or something weird like that. I mean, how crazy and shocking would that be?
Yeah, like, actually, hey, if you're going to be going for a 5th year, you need to have been like within a time to graduate.
Right.
If you're not eligible to graduate after 5 years, then you should not be allowed that 5th year.
Yeah. Or penalize them if they didn't graduate after the 5th year. Tie something into education as well, because in theory, that's what they're there for. I mean, it's not just for the sport, although I think we both know in the power schools and the power conferences how that really works. But it is what it is, Coach. But let's move over to the NBA draft for a minute and talk about it.
Let's kind of not talk about the NBA draft. Let's talk about the trades prior to the NBA draft first.
Okay.
I think that would be the best route. I think we talk about the biggest trade that's happened. One that was like the worst kept secret that was going to happen, like you said about A.J. Brown in the NFL. Giannis has definitely been on that block for now 3 years. But, that was a no-brainer about, hey, it is going to happen. And, when you talk about NBA and the whole structure of it, it's time for Giannis to kind of finally get out of Milwaukee. I know you have your thoughts about Milwaukee.
I'll share those in a second. I thought that was a great story.
But I mean, for him to go to Miami gave up a lot of players, and a lot of stuff that kind of goes along with it. But they now had the 2 superstars that they wanted, and they got Bam and they got Giannis, and they got their 2 that they can build around. And the only thing is with Giannis is he, one, going to find his love for basketball and playing again? And 2, is he going to stay healthy? I don't think he's completed a full season where he hasn't, missed at least half a season for the last 3. So, it's a gamble. It is a gamble. And as you get older, you're going to continue to get hurt. Like we just said, age plays a factor in all that. That's part of the reason why I don't think I'll ever start pickleball because, Achilles, hamstring, knees.
Right. Yeah. I'm too old for most of that, Coach. Maybe if I could just play the net full time, but again, I could just feel those Achilles popping as I think about it. My daughter loves pickleball, but I haven't even gotten into that sport yet. And I think I'll wait on that one for a minute just to see how it goes. And if you get into that, you let me know how that goes for you as well, Coach. But I think the Giannis trade is it's a quality trade. I still think Miami got the better deal because of Giannis. I think he's a trendsetter. I think he's a trajectory team to win a championship kind of guy to get on your roster. I think that's a pretty big deal. But there's been a lot of trades. There's Paul George, I believe, got traded again. LaMelo Ball got traded. There's been a lot of different. I mean, I kind of who cares, but I mean, it is it's just like
it's a financial thing for a lot of them. Like where can they get money to do this thing? And like, Minnesota. I was reading about Minnesota, and they made some trades where they now have a lot of cap space where maybe they do go after a bigger name player like Jaylen Brown, So these are the things that you kind of need to look at as you start.
Some of the stuff though, I just don't understand though, because the NBA has, it seems like they trade more than most sports of the major sports do, and in the NBA, it's almost like fantasy sports at a lot of times. To me, it's like, hey, I'll give you these 3 guys for that guy, I'll give you these 4 guys for that guy, and I know it's salary based for the NBA, but it still is bizarre on how they approach that to me. And again, I think about Luka Doncic getting traded, Anthony Davis getting traded. Those are big names that just swap in mid-season. It's just a bizarre world to me on some of that.
Well, I mean, look at Trae Young. I mean, he just got traded, and then he signed a 4-year, $252 million contract. I mean, the money in the NBA is stupid money.
Right.
And the amount that they're paying just 11 players overall for a team is crazy. I mean, it's more than an NFL team. So,
right.
That kind of tells you a lot, right? Now we're going to talk about the NBA draft, right? So,
sure.
We had some players come on out. The NBA draft was pretty cool. I watched a little bit of it. I was kind of waiting to see what the Knicks would do, and they trade away all their picks to kind of save money, which is good. The Hawks, I like watching what the Hawks were doing. Oh, that's the wrong draft. Take that off. Sorry.
You're good?
Yeah, take that off. So
it's off.
That's my fault, man.
You're good. You're good, brother.
So
people are more interested in seeing our pretty faces, coach, and seeing the draft.
So the NBA draft is one of those things that, when you look at what transpires, it's pretty cool to watch families again. I like watching the families and the interaction. Sure. But it's also about showing how much bling you got, the boozers showing their watches. I don't need that anymore at my age.
Right. Right. Yeah, me neither. But a guy walked across stage with a $3 million watch or a $3 million brooch and $1 million watch or vice versa, but it was $4 million worth of swag. And the dude has just now gotten drafted. So obviously they get some money from their agents and all those things up front and probably from NIL money. But man, that's just sick money. And to me, an agent needs to correct that. It's like, dude, what are you wasting this money on? But we've had people come on. I know Musa talked about that. People want fast cars and all the bling and all the materialistic things that you can't take with you. And it's like, man, you need to save some of that money. Who was it that saved every paycheck? I can't think. There's a guy that saved every paycheck. Gronkowski. Okay, there you go. I mean, saving all their paychecks and keeping all their money intact and making mega millions.
He lived off all of his endorsements.
Right. But again, now he's going to be able to, as he retires, if he didn't have all the extra fame and being on Fox and whatnot, he's got all this different monies that he saved up over the years from his contracts. He can live a comfortable life forever.
Right.
He's not going to go broke like Jack Clark did back in the day, buying 30 cars for the Cardinals and the Red Sox and whatnot. It's just like, guys, grow up, get you a nice suit, get you a nice car, buy your mom a house, and then put the rest of the money in the bank and, and go enjoy. Get you a good fishing trip here and there. So
absolutely. Enjoy the little things in life once you get done playing the big thing.
That's right. Well, just real quick, I got a little challenge for you. The Washington Wizards with the first pick selected.
AJD. Dude.
DeBanza. I think it's DeBanza from BYU, but DeBanza. I didn't say that. But I want to give you a quick second because you're a Carolina guy too. I'm a Dookie. There was a Dookie and a Carolina guy selected in the top 4. So congratulations to the Boozer kid. So happy for him. I'm the Duke guy there, and I'm proud of those guys. Good for him. I was hoping he'd be the number 1 pick, but I understand he wasn't. But congratulations to Caleb Wilson as well, your guy from North Carolina. He got hurt towards the end of the year, but he was dominant all season at North Carolina.
And it's kind of cool that he's going back to where Jordan played and got drafted. So,
right.
Tough shoes to fill.
That's right.
But hey, congratulations to him. So here's what I'm going to do with you now.
Okay.
All right. This wasn't even on script.
Yeah. I see now. I see what you're throwing at me. That's why I was like trying to look at that graphic to see what it is. Let's go.
No, don't do it. Take it off. I don't want you looking at it.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
Don't turn it on yet.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
Cheat.
I didn't cheat. I promise. I can't see.
We did this game. I went with my son and my second son, his best friend. We do disc golfing.
Yeah.
There's a couple of good courses around here. It's, I could get through 18 in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Right.
Perfect. Better than golf, right? So on the way to the course, we're all in my buddy, my son's buddy's new Tesla that he bought, which first time I've ever driven from one point to another point where he never touched the steering wheel.
Scary.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah. I'm like, huh.
Put your hands on the wheel. 10-2, 10-2.
But we did a little thing. I was like, okay, let's talk about odds, because we were talking about NFL because we're all starting to get excited about NFL drafts. We're 2 months away from the first one. Our NFL fantasy drafts are going to be right in the corner. I think this is where we're going to start to hit pretty quick. I think this is where we're kind of moving to, which is what we want to. Once World Cup is done, we're going to be all in.
I love it.
In.
Let's go NFL, baby.
Let's kind of talk about our teams here really quickly. And your Dallas Cowboys, what do you think this year will be their over-under for wins?
Well, I have a little cheat code on that because I think I know the Cowboys, but I won't know any of the rest of them.
We did this in the car while no one was watching driving.
I'm going to go 9.5 on the Cowboys.
It is 9.5 wins for the Cowboys.
That's the only one I know, though. I heard that, but I'm going to go under. I'm going under on that, Coach.
Okay, I could go with that one. All right, so my second team. Okay, and I'm going to do one division, really, pretty much. Let's go.
Okay.
The Falcons.
Okay.
Look.
I can't see it. I promise I can't see it. I'm going to go the Falcons.
I promise you I know that you can't see if you don't have your glasses on.
That's right. I'm not cheating. I'm going to go the Falcons are 6.5.
All right, so I'm going to write that down.
Okay.
Let's go to the Buccaneers.
Okay, then I want to change the Falcons to – no, okay, I'll leave the Falcons.
I'm going to do the whole division of the Falcons.
Okay,
so
I'll go Falcons. I'm going to write it down too. Falcons 6.5.
I got you. I got you.
I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go 8.5.
All right, you're right on that one. All right.
Okay.
How about the Saints?
Everybody's on the Saints. I'm gonna say the Saints are probably creeping up. I bet it's up from where it started. I would say New Orleans. I'm gonna stick it at 8.5 as well.
All right. Panthers.
Which is a team that I think is up and coming. I think the Panthers have a shot to – I would take the over on whatever it is, but I'm going to say the Panthers are 7.5.
All right, so you nailed that one.
Okay.
All right. Out of that division, they're all 8.5 to 7.5 wins.
Okay.
Meaning they're just mediocre. Yeah,
it's anyone's division. That's absolutely the case.
That's the most wide open division, yeah. And so the Falcons, it's hard to – when you're around Atlanta all the time and that's all you hear on the radio and how hyped they get, we might have the best running back, but they're still 7.5 wins. That's what the over-under is.
Right.
You said 6.5. You went under it. I said 7.
Yeah.
So I'm actually probably under that too. Okay. I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers, I said 8 to 9, and it was 8.5. So we're right on that one.
Where are you at on that? You going over or under on that one?
On the 8.5?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over.
Somebody's got to win that division. I'm gonna go
over.
Yeah,
I think it's the Buccaneers that win it.
Okay. I'll go over on that one as well.
The Saints are 7.5, and I like what they have. They're doing it the right way for whatever purposes. But I don't think 7.5. That's like a pick 'em.
Right. But I think you're talking about still winning less than half of your games. If even at 7.5 or 8 games, you're still not winning more than half your games. But New Orleans is getting a lot of love. If Tyler Shuck continues to develop, they drafted the kid out of Arizona State. His name escapes me right now, but Jordan Tyson, I believe, is his name.
Yep.
They drafted him. They signed ETN as a free agent. They got a lot of opportunities to get
better. They got a great wide receiving core. Absolutely great wide receiving core. So
they got to keep Olave healthy.
Yeah, they do.
He's got to stay away from concussions, and if he does, they could win that division. I think the Panthers could win that division. Yeah. So you're going over on the Saints as well. Are you going over on the Saints?
I am going to stay at under for the Saints this year.
Okay.
But I'm going to go over on the Panthers because they were all 7.5.
Okay. I'll go. Well, I was close on all of those. That wasn't a bad thing. And I promise I didn't cheat, guys. Anybody out there, if you knew how bad my eyes are, I cannot say that, and I didn't cheat.
Okay, my last one. my last one.
Yeah.
What team has the highest prediction of wins? There's two of them actually right now, but one of them
Highest
kind of
team.
raised to the top. And what would you think that would be?
Now you put me on the spot. Now
Well, that's why I'm doing this. You did that to
making
me
me
with the
think here.
words. I'm going to do it for you on odds.
Whoo! The highest win totals. Man, it can't be the Chiefs. I hope it's not. It's not the Chiefs, right? Okay, then I'm going to go just because I'm going to say Philadelphia. I hope I'm wrong, and I will say in the AFC. Man, I don't know. It's got to be Seattle. It's got to be one of them, and Denver. I'm going with Seattle and Denver.
Yeah, Seattle and Denver are not them. The two highest.
Who are they?
Rams and the Ravens, each at 11.5.
Ravens. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. 11.5. Okay. Well, I hope the Rams go over. I'm a Rams fan. I'm a Stafford guy. Just like the way their uniforms are cool as heck too. If the Cowboys aren't going to do it, then go Rams. But the Ravens, that's kind of surprising, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Looking at that division though, and you got the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are going to be as good without Mike Tomlin as the coach.
Right.
The Browns. Right? So you're looking at 6 wins in the division.
Right. There's no doubt. Yeah. And
so there's your 6 out of 10.
Listen, if you want a dark horse from me, I'm going to do this every year. Take the Bengals. I'm going to give you a dark horse and take the Bengals on that. I could see the Rams. I would put money, if I was gambling, I'd put money on the Rams to win the Super Bowl. I don't know that I'd go over 11.5 on anybody. That's a pretty big number, but still
big number.
And that's a pretty tough division as well too. They're up against who are they? They play Seattle, Frisco, the Rams, and who else is in that division? Dagnabbit, help me out here. Who else is in that division? But anyway, I can see the Rams walking away with it, but 11.5 is a big number either way.
Yeah. And then my Dolphins.
Oh, God. Is it 5.5? What is it? Lower than 5? Oh, my gosh. 4.5?
4.5. And I'm thinking 4. I'm thinking 2.
That's going to be a long year in Miami.
Tank and try to go for Arch Manning.
Yeah. That's going to be a long year in Miami. But next year is supposed to be a really good offensive draft class. So hopefully those guys get back to where they are. But the poor Dolphins, the poor fans of Miami, what they've let go away. And now Achan's got to sit out there and try to do it all on his own. And there's no way he's able to get it done. And I don't see him finishing the season healthy. I really don't.
Mm-mm. They got more, like we talked about this, they have more dead money than any other team. That's
right. And they traded away their best receiver. They're in for a long season. So sorry, Miami fans, and enjoy.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard rooting for them, and it's gonna be hard for the Falcons if they don't win some this year.
Right. Well, the Falcons just signed Pitts as well to a 3-year deal, I think. And what? I looked at his stats, and he's got the most. I think he's got the most reception yards, number 3 in reception yards of all tight ends in the last several years, which people don't recognize because they look at him as a bust for some reason. He had a breakout season last year, but Pitts is a baller. And I think by signing him, again, Bijan, Drake, I just think the quarterback situation in flux and 2 left-handers that have the potential to get hurt every game, it could be a long season. It really could be a long season. So
I think,
but I think
if the Falcons go with Penix at any point this year, their season's washed.
Right.
So
right. Well, who's running first team reps right now? Do you know?
Probably Tua, because I don't think Penix is cleared.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we always want to talk about what chaps our ass in sports and what chaps our ass on this show, on the Chapped Ass podcast of Face for Radio. But let's talk about today what chapped your ass this week in sports, or what chaps your ass in general, Coach. Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah. What chaps my ass? I'm sitting here and having to go to some doctor's appointments and things, and they get results, and you have to wake up in the morning, and you go in there where the results are fantastic. They could have just said, hey, we're going to do this on Zoom.
Right.
You don't need to come in. But no, they want your money. They want they want their seat time. So they make you go in there. And that kind of chaps my ass because, we were there and in and out in 5 minutes. And it's like, really? So
that'll be $6,000.
Yeah. That's like, come on, But the news that you get is good, so you're happy, but man, like having to go through that whole stress, and they've had the results and they've been sitting on them. Just call and say, hey, you don't need to worry about this anymore. Take that off your plate. And I wish they would. So, that's what kind of chaps my ass.
Understood. So yeah, I had to go this week. And so I had to do an echo and some stress test stuff a while back. And so they charged me $1,038 up front. They break the bill down for you. I paid them up front, gave them their money. And then I get a text saying you owe $198 more. And then I get a text saying you owe $304 total dollars. So I go in and the lady is like, I really don't know why. Somebody must have added a specialist fee. Somebody must have added. I was like, you gave me a breakdown up front of what I owed, said I met my deductible. I paid you, and now I have to come back and pay you $3. She goes,
yeah.
Do you want to dispute it? I was like, well, no, I don't want to dispute it. I don't want it on my credit. I want to go ahead and pay it. But that chaps my ass a little bit too, Coach. But I can tell you one thing that really does chap my ass, and I'm a little guilty of chapping my own ass this week. But in fantasy sports, you got to keep up with your teams. That's the deal. That's the rule. We don't let you in the league to not keep up with your teams.
You're tired, brother.
My ass when you don't do it. You feel me?
I feel you.
You agree with me?
What chaps my ass about the fantasy is that injuries are out of your control.
So. Right. True. And there's not enough IR spots in our baseball leagues. By the way, man, I just got to bring this up. I don't know what it is about the Wobble League, but I'm pretty decent in fantasy sports and all our baseball
it's
stuff.
Hard.
I can't win in that one. I can't
either.
I don't understand it. It's too short.
We have 12 teams in it and no bench.
Right. No, and like you said, then you get a guy hurt and you're down.
Like I have Witt.
Right. Yeah. I feel you.
I have Acuna or whatever. It's like, my team is depleted.
Looked good on paper on day one, but doesn't look good on paper on day whatever we're on right now. So yeah,
Everyone
I understand
wins
that.
The championship on day one.
Right. But yes, fantasy owners, please keep up with your teams. That's a prereq. I mean, keep up with your teams. We've dealt with that over football. We've dealt with that over baseball. I've seen that over the years, and I've seen guys getting arguments over it. I've seen people kicked out of leagues over it. Just keep up with your teams. Don't chat my ass over those things. But with all the softball that we've been doing, I missed a start the other day with a guy because I didn't update my lineup in time, and they're playing day baseball. So some of that again falls back on me. So
they
guilty
came
a
back
little
and
bit.
Wanted you because Dave caught you yesterday.
I know. Don't hurt my feelings, Coach. Please, I understand. He's been running me down like a marathon runner forever.
But the thing is, we're all right there. Like I've dropped, but I'm not off. Like I have one good outing, and I'm back into the top two. So
Well, let's get after it as we keep up with our teams.
That's right. Well, listen. Okay, so did you have anything else that chaps your ass? We didn't really get other than that.
No, that's the only thing I got for the day, Coach. Is keeping up with your fantasy teams, in your lineups, making sure you're staying up to date on them. But I want to get into some shout outs. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give out this week?
Yeah. Okay. So, golly, I had about 5 or 6 different people say they don't miss an episode. They love listening to the episodes. Slade,
love y'all.
Slade, I'm going to give you a big shout out. I went through Brewster's, and he saw me and was like, "Oh my God!" He's commented on a couple of our things. My daughter, she checks him out all the time.
And she leaves comments. I love reading Kate's comments.
One of her good friends, KK, the Kerrigans, they listen to it. They love it.
Right.
So I told her I would mention you next time. So KK, there you go. I got you your shout out. The guys at Truist, the grounds crew loves us, especially after that last one.
Right.
They want to come on. They were like, you got to have us on. You got to have us on. So, this thing is starting to pick up steam, and I love that. I think it's a lot of fun right now to do this. Again, we need some sponsors. That's the biggest thing that's probably going to chap my ass is if we're going to do this, I'm not doing this for free much longer, people. So get on those sponsors, man.
Right here, Coach. They got to like us. They got to subscribe to us on YouTube. They got to smash that button. That's what's going to get us paid, Coach. That's what's going to get us sponsorship right there. And we need more of it. So share it with your friends. Grab their phones and go to Chapped Podcast, at Chapped Podcast on all the socials. Please go like us. Go love us. Go ring that bell because, again, that's what's getting us there. So our next destination, Coach, right now is to get to 300, right? That's our next goal. So I'd call them baby steps, but I mean, we've gone up in pretty good numbers. But the views and whatnot that we're getting and the new accounts that we're reaching through some of the socials other than just the YouTube and our episodes is incredible to me. And so again, thank you for that as well. But I know you've been a big part of that. I mean, we're faces for radio, but we're also faces in public. Everybody knows you in this area. Most people know me as well, but I mean, we do have a big base out there. So we appreciate them, but we need to expand it. We got to get paid.
I was looking for a dog sitter and I was asking someone, I play cornhole every Wednesday downtown Woodstock.
Right.
And I was asking someone that had a daughter who I taught, and I'm like, hey, do you have a dog sitter? They live in our neighborhood. And they're like, oh yeah, we have a person who could use. I said, well, give me your number. Well, I'm going to contact her so she knows who you are. I'm like, everyone knows who I am, dude.
That's right. Talking to me?
You're talking about the wrong person.
Right. Well, I use that joke all the time.
She was like, oh yeah, I know.
I use that all the time with Meredith and Cameron and them. I was like, listen, I get it. You guys have a busy day, but do you know what it's like to be a famous podcaster? Because there's a lot of stuff that we got to do throughout the day. But don't tell them and don't ruin our image there. Any more shout outs you got for them?
They want a t-shirt. A lot of these guys want t-shirts and they want to have some Chapped ass memorabilia. So we got to start getting onto that shtick too.
Hey, you stole my Chapped ass thunder, Coach, because my shout out goes to my sister, Stephanie Tovar, making the official inaugural first Chapped ass podcast, which by the way, I'm wearing as well.
Hey,
your work. That's the front of it, Coach, on the pocket. Then on the back of it, again, thank you, Stephanie, for all you've done. And we've got some cups and we've got some things coming, but that's the back of the shirt, Coach. I've got you a couple shirts. I don't have a ton coming in, but I've got you a couple shirts. That's why I was asking your size the other day, but we've got some coffee mugs, some water jugs, Yeti type cups coming in that they all like to drink out of. So yeah, we're getting there.
Oh man, we're going high tech.
Let's go, baby.
I got my McLovin shirt on today.
I see it. I'm sure people are going, is he wearing a driver's license on his shirt? But I know what it is. I love it. Well, Coach, I say let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. But again, I want to remind everybody, please smash that subscribe button right there. Ring that bell right there on YouTube. Do that same thing on Spotify. Please follow us on socials. Share our information at Chapped Podcast, CHAPPED, the letter A podcast, because we need more subscribers and we need some sponsorship, Coach. But I think we're not too far from it. It's around the corner. I've got our marketing department working on some of that right now, and it's got to go through our agent, and then it's got to go through our attorneys, and then back to us to make sure we're okay signing. I'll let you know when that contract shows up, by the way. But yeah, right. But I mean, if you're done, Coach, I'm good with it, and I can be done with it. Are you good with it?
Oh, I'm absolutely good. I know you have a lot of stuff to do this weekend. I know you got a big trip to Birmingham for softball.
Sure.
Congratulations to your daughter getting her first offer, I hope.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yep, appreciate
That's
that.
huge.
Yep,
so,
and
Cameron,
she's got some more.
Proud of you.
Out. Yeah, I love it.
This is the time of year where these girls are and athletes are starting to get noticed by the summer programs that they're all doing, and
that's right.
Proud of that fact that they're putting the time in and effort. And you got to put time and effort in. That's the biggest thing I'm going to say. If you don't put time and effort into something, you're not going to be successful. You can't just go and play games. You got to go practice and work on your skill.
That's right. Well, check out that Musa Smith interview. What Musa said, the words that rang with him was from Richard Seymour, a Hall of Famer eventually from the New England Patriots, multi-time Super Bowl winner. But it's very basic, but it's exactly what you said. But you get out of it what you put into it. If you put the work and the energy and the effort into it, you will sow those fruits of success there. And it may not be the pinnacle of success, but you will still be successful if you do put the work in. But you get out of it what you put into it. And I think those are words to live by. And you know what? As words to live by, that's what we're going to do on the Chapped Ass Podcast, Coach. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep putting effort into it. And we're going to keep working hard and keep building up our subscriber viewership. But on the Chapped Ass Podcast, a face for radio, I am your host, Chap Green, and I'm out. What about you, Coach?
And I'm Coach, and I'm out. Peace.
Deuces, baby.
Yeah!